I was pastoring in Chicago, and there was parts about that I really enjoyed and parts of it that were difficult, and it just sort of became clearer and clearer to Becca and I throughout that time that God had made me to be a teacher. We applied to jobs literally all over the country, from California to the Carolinas, truly, and ultimately came down to 3 schools, and we just sensed that God was leading us to Kansas City, which was wild to us. I mean, we had never been to Kansas City before. We don't have any family here, any friends here. The first time either of us had ever been in Kansas City was when we came sort of for like a final interview. So sort of wild that God was gonna bring us here, but when we moved, we weren't sure how all that was gonna sort out. And then I think 3 or 4 years ago, there was this new benefit that we would just have full tuition covered for our kids. And I mean, it's huge for us. I mean, it's like life-changing for our family that we're able to send our kids to this school that we love so much, but for our family to have a place for our girls where they're loved and trained, is, like I said, huge for us. So it's hard to imagine how it would work without the scholarship for our girls, yeah. I mean, it's just a reality that we just couldn't, especially with both of us working at the school, we just couldn't afford it without the scholarship. When you reduce it to dollars and cents, it's probably difficult to appreciate how life-changing it is to have this sort of education for kids. So it's more than just a place to go to school. I mean, so much of our kids' lives are spent not just learning math and reading and that sort of stuff, but being formed by the community that they're a part of. And so, when we look back on our girls' lives, the fact that they've had this experience, and it's so much bigger than whatever the amount on a check would be. And so we could not be more grateful for that, because it changes and shapes our daughters' lives that they have this opportunity. And so it's invaluable for us. So I know that there are a lot of students at KCC who are getting some sort of assistance, and it just makes something that's so great possible for a lot of families that it wouldn't be possible for. That strikes me as a part of what makes KCC a Christian community, that there's no like negativity associated with that, and we don't even know like who those students are, but we know that that's a part of the community, that there are kids who are being provided for at various levels, and that makes what we do possible. And that just sort of is a part of what makes it a Christian community. The community here is it's unique and feels very much like home, and the community feels like family. I mean, that's one of the things we've loved about KCC, is just how much and how quickly it's felt like family. We don't want to just sort of help kids get right answers on tests, but to contribute to who they are as people, and to mature and see them become wonderful husbands and wives and contributors to their communities is sort of what we're interested in.